Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast. We are back already, straight into another game, and I think it comes at a good time where I just want to go into another game and completely forget about an offside goal that made us lose the last one. So here we are, Paul, back in with the action. We've got an opposition fan lined up in the house, in the studio, and we'll introduce him in a second. So it's going to be a good one, people. Get involved in the comments as you normally do. We need you to get involved because it's what makes the show. So, Paul, how are you feeling about this game?
Yeah, nice quick turnover. Easy to forget Wednesday after a few things out of it. Throw all our praise and support behind Tarks, who's been getting a rough time. But you, me, the club, his missus, all behind him, and it was all a fuss over nothing. You know what they're like. So it's good that we get rid of that and we go again against Arsenal tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely mad though. It's like even the people when I was watching the game, even Duncan Ferguson, who I've got a lot of respect for, but even Duncan Ferguson didn't say. I thought he would have said it's a tackle that happens in football. I couldn't believe he made a big deal of it as well. It's a tackle that Duncan Ferguson made frigging 1 in every 2 games, and he's made a lot worse. He's made them where he hasn't even got the ball, and I can't believe maybe Duncan Ferguson wants to be in the commentary box a bit more and thought he'll go Liverpool's way. I don't know, but that's not the first time we've seen a Tarkowski tackle. Like, come on, we've seen Gerrard do tackles like that 24/7. We've seen loads of players do tackles like that. Not that much of a big deal that you should be sending death threats to a family. It's Derby. Come on, get a grip. Get a grip. Tarkowski said at the end of the game, that he expected McAllister to go in at him as much as he went in at him. And McAllister didn't. He just backed off and it looked worse. And McAllister normally would go in as well. So Tarkowski went in to defend himself and it looked dirty in the end because McAllister completely backed out of the tackle and always would. So McAllister should have gone in as well. McAllister could have stood on Tarkowski. I don't know. It's done anyway. We've got a better team to play. A team that I actually don't mind that much. So let's get into it. We have him in the studio. People, going to drop some music now. I'm glad we've got a guest on. It's been a while, hasn't it? Here we go.
That's been, yeah.
He is in the house, people. It is Posh Bertie, the Arsenal fan, ready to go head-to-head with us. How are you?
I get an entrance as well. Lovely. No, I'm doing good, thank you. We were saying off camera, there's a little bit of Everton in my dad's side of the family. This is going to sound complicated. My dad, my late grandmother, God rest her soul, her brother was an Evertonian because my grandmother was born in Merseyside, but her brother supported Everton. So there is a little bit of the Everton side in my dad's side of the family. Sadly for you, it wasn't hereditary. I ended up supporting the Arsenal. Although, if it makes you feel better, I do prefer Everton over Liverpool. Just not tomorrow afternoon. Just for that occasion. But yes, Emma, I am posh AF. I'm from Sevenoaks. What do you expect? Good to be on this channel, by the way, because I know that my former co-host for Gooner Gathering, Lee Meadows, was on this channel as well. So it's only fair if I return the favour for the reverse fixture.
Well, he was. We was talking about wrestling and everything on that one. He was a cracking guest, and he recommended to get you on, and I went with his recommendation, and so far it sounds pretty good. Right, people, I'm going to chuck this on right at the start because we're going to go through the game. We'll look at the form of both teams. We'll do a lineup prediction, and we'll finish with score prediction. But it's still pretty raw. This is at the 9th minute for Super Kevin Campbell. Once again, this Goodison Park will be singing Super Kevin Campbell. And I just wanted to put something on the screen because everyone knows he's a legend at Everton. And I was just going to get the right music. But everyone knows Super Kevin Campbell's a legend at Everton. So I just wanted to chuck something on. for Super Kevin Campbell before the big game, because it's mad. We'll probably say something about him after, but I'll chuck this on now. Now I didn't have a lot of music that I could have chucked on, but I feel he would have wanted something upbeat instead of had us all having the tissues out, absolutely crying our eyes out. So I think Super Kevin Campbell, he probably would have wanted Motown on, with him putting his music on every weekend, saying Motown music, what music would you like? But yeah, I had to chuck something up. Super Kevin Campbell, what a smile, what a person. Arsenal fan have got on now. So say something on him. We'll say something on him, and then we'll crack on with the show.
I'm a sprightly youngster, so I didn't get to see much of Kevin Campbell. But from what I heard, he, as a person, he seemed like a really nice man as well. He's actually interacted with a lot of people in the Arsenal community online, and he just seemed like a very nice man and a good footballer from what I heard. Obviously associated with both Arsenal and Everton, it was such a shocking loss, and I know that. Is there a minute's applause in a certain part of the game for Kevin Campbell, as far as I remember? I'm not too sure. But I know that obviously it's just such a sad loss. He seemed like a really nice person. Yeah,
you could. I mean, I'll say my little point. You could never take away the love that he had for Arsenal. You could tell his first love was Arsenal, but he completely fell in love with Everton as well when he played for us. So the way he spoke, you could never take the Arsenal out of him, because you could see on the pictures there, he's got a lot of. He's done a lot with Arsenal, but then he connected with Everton as well when we needed him to connect with us, and he really did do some magical things with us at desperate times, and he got the Everton fans as well. And I've said it before on the channel, when me and Paul went to that Bournemouth game where if we didn't win it, we'd get relegated, and we scored to go 1-0 to stay in the Premier League, and we probably would have gone into liquidation because we was in a real financial mess at that time. When we scored that goal, us Everton fans, the first thing that we could think of to do when we was in big trouble with bad owners and everything was to sing Super Kevin Campbell, to say, we love you, help us out. And that's what we did. And it was the one song that we sang was Super Kevin Campbell continuously, because we knew he got us and we trusted that he would help us Everton fans get this club back into shape. And luckily, right now, we are in the right direction to get back in shape. So, yeah, I love him. Super Kevin Campbell, got to give him a shout out. And I always will, because you should never forget people that are gone, and you should always remember him in a good way. And I'll remember him forever. Paul, chuck your words on him, and then we'll crack on.
Yeah, best sort of memories, obviously putting it in the Red Shites net. That's the top one, I'd imagine. But he came in from Trabzonspor. think in the January window we were in the mire, really bad. Scored about 7 goals in 4 games, something like that. Tell me, obviously other people know better than me. But he really turned it around. There was a few key games. West Ham was a game, Charlton was a game, and just massive goals when we needed it. And there's a little cluster of players that we've had come in at crucial times who've done major things for us or have scored crucial goals. And obviously we know everything about his Arsenal career, and he was always around Everton as well. And you see him on TV and stuff. That was the first real glimpse that we had of him, to be honest. And it made a massive difference for us, and he'll always have a special place in our hearts for him.
You'll be looking down as listeners to say thanks a lot. I appreciated that. And it's a massive game that you definitely would have been there and not knowing who to support. So here we go. Let's get into the game, people. I've got something to put on the screen now. I'm going to chuck this on you, Posh Bertie, to start off with, because I think I've got your football team first. Let's go to Goodison Park. Rocking. Arsenal's last 10 Premier League results. I did write this up. We like to get a gist of form. Talk to me.
Well, I think I'll talk about in terms of the game coming up first. I think you should be thanking the football fixture gods that you're facing us now. I think it's the right time for you to face us because not only are we have we got a few key players injured. It was announced that Gabriel is out for pretty much the whole season, but we've also got a crucial game against Real Madrid coming up where I think a lot of focus will be on that more. But I think in terms of our form, you could see, I know injuries are a big part, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse. I think since the Leicester game, whilst we have won some games during that time, it's not been that much convincing. The Fulham game, we played quite well. We just conceded a bit of a silly goal that we shouldn't have done in the last 2 minutes. But it hasn't been great recently. You could say injuries have been a part of that, but I just think that could be down to a management issue as well, but that might be something I'll get into later. But yeah, our record at Goodison is not great, and the Moyes sire has done quite a good job at steadying the ship at Everton. So it's certainly going to be there he is, right on cue. It's certainly
An excuse.
a very tough game.
An excuse
for us, especially we've got a game against Real Madrid coming up, so it might be quite unpredictable, more unpredictable than some may think.
Well, Paul, I mean, the thing is, we're looking at that form and he's not happy with it, but it's different standards to us, isn't it? I mean, you're looking at a team that should be, and I wish there was, top of the league, easily winning the Premier League this season. I'm quite angry with Arsenal that they're not closer to that shitty team that we played last game. So I really wish there was a lot more wins there. So I can see why he is frustrated, but they've only lost one. But the draws, you can't draw when you
avoiding defeat at home against West Ham isn't for everybody, is it? So, they're obviously a great side. And last season it was Trossard's goal, wasn't it? I think it was earlier on in last season where they won 1-0, and we sort of held them off for ages. But in the end, a touch of class goes a long way, and that's what they had on that day. We battled the 0-0 away at their place, which, with our overall record at Arsenal, was a good result, obviously. So, but they score goals. They score goals. Generally, they're good defensively as well. They're having a decent season, and considering they haven't got a proper striker, do you know what I mean? They're still very dangerous. I always do feel though, and like Bertie said, their record isn't the most prolific at our place. I do always feel when we play at Arsenal at home that we've got a good chance. It's almost like we do meet them at times where they're on a run, but then we do something, or we're in the mire and a new manager comes in, something like that. So, I mean, obviously when Deitch started, we had Tarkovsky's header for a winner, that sort of thing. So they're gettable, but they are obviously a class side.
And this will also be the last Everton-Arsenal match at Goodison Park, so I think certainly there'll be a factor in that as well.
Yeah, everyone wants to leave the stamp on us on the last game at Goodison Park. Of course they do, and we want to finish with a win at the last game at Goodison Park against Arsenal. Let's chuck on. This is ours, and it is getting a little bit orange, but we was undefeated. I hate putting that last one on in red. That's really done my head in because the goal was offside. But was undefeated in 9, which is it's crazy because you look at this and you think, oh, it isn't incredible form. But if you would have looked at the form before David Moyes come in, there was a lot of losses and it was nothing like this. There was no goals, no shots on target or anything. Moyes has absolutely smashed it here, hasn't he, Paul?
Yeah, like you said, and this is what Everton do. So before all the green, it was very red with maybe 3 orange in there. And then Moyes comes in, bam, 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 win, win, win. And now we're on a run of draws. That's Everton all over, to be fair. So hopefully the Liverpool one's just a blip in the road. We have got some tough fixtures coming up. So we hope that it's not now going to be a sea of red, because that'll really detract from the improvements that we've actually made over the last few months. So I can see the positives. On this channel, we always find the positives and we lift everyone up. And we're not down at the moment. We look at those orange games recently and we think, oh, we should have beat Man U. We could have maybe got more of a break against Brentford. Wolves were there for the taking. We got a point back against West Ham after, it going a bit pear-shaped during most of the game. But generally, there are positives there. And we've got players coming back, which is great to see. And I hope some of them are fit for tomorrow.
Yeah, we have got players coming back. Well, we did. This is in the Premier League. We did lose one game in the Cup. We went out the Cup and we did bounce back after that loss. Obviously, we still put together winning form or unbeaten form. So we have had a loss and reacted to it and not lost the second game. Like you said, Paul, we've just got to make sure that we react to this loss in a good way, not a bad way. But Bertie, put that on you. That's our form. What do you think of it?
Yeah, so when Moyes came in, you've started off well. You started off winning a lot, but what I'm seeing, you've seen a lot of draws happen, and recently quite an unfair loss at Liverpool, might I add. Could this be the end of the new manager bounce, as they say? We'll have to wait and see. But as I said, to be more balanced, you couldn't have played us at a better time, with Gabriel, arguably our best player this season, out injured, and other injuries as well. I think you could face us at an interesting time, especially considering our record at Goodison's not good. But this could be a chance for you to get back in form in style. But yeah, I think since Moyes has come in, I've certainly seen an improvement with you. So we're not going to. I think any fans that will go into this game thinking, "Oh, all right, we'll walk it," is incredibly deluded. I think we need to respect Everton, and yeah, I think it's certainly going to be a toughie tomorrow. Even though you haven't won in a while, but.
We are in for a cracking game, people. We are in for a cracking game. We're in good form, and I was ready for the Copites. I wanted a big challenge, and I don't think we performed badly in it. And we're against an even better team now, Arsenal. So I'm ready for a big challenge, and no Mickey Mouse team, Arsenal. So it's a really big game. This is your team, but I can't believe I didn't put the striker in.
Striker? We don't have a striker. So you
that's why I probably didn't.
That's fine. You might as well leave it like that. We don't have a striker.
No.
Yeah, if you'd like me to elaborate on this, Yeah, so David Raya in goal is obvious. Providing he's fit, and this is again, there's doubts over both White and Timber as well. I'm praying to the good Lord above we don't have to play Thomas Partey at right back again, because that's a gift for you. I think even if both White and Timber are fit, I'd still play Ben White at right back in this game and save Timber for Real Madrid. You saw him struggle a bit against Fulham. He managed to carry on until a few stages in the second half, but I don't want to take any chances, especially considering the injuries we've had recently. So if he's fit, I play Ben White at the back. Saliba is obvious. Kivior, I mean, he's not my ideal choice for a centre-back, and that's putting it politely, but Calafiori's out as well. So, again, not much choice. Lewis Skelly at left-back, Partey in midfield.
Good player, that man, yeah. Really good.
He is absolutely a very, very promising youngster. With Declan Rice, I was very hesitant on this because I was thinking of saving him for Real Madrid, but at the same time, you don't want to rest all your key players, especially when we are still in a situation in the league where we have to look over our shoulders a bit, because if we drop points in this game and Forest win, they will be around either 1 point or 3 points behind us. So we've still got to look over our shoulders on this occasion. I was flirting with the idea of playing Zinchenko in midfield, because not only is he a better midfielder than he is a fullback, but he is quite good at breaking down low blocks. And I have a feeling that's probably how you're going to play against us, because we always tend to struggle against low block teams. And Zinchenko's quite good at, for all his faults, he's quite good at trying to break down the low blocks. But I'll stick with Declan Rice for now. That might be famous last words if he gets injured, because I have a feeling he might be on the list soon if we're not careful. On the attack, I had Wanyeri. I'd still have Saka on the bench. He's still just come back from a hamstring injury. Odegaard in the middle, and Martinelli on the left. And the greatest striker we've had for whatever reason, Mikel Merino, up front. Good God Almighty! As I said, you might fancy your chances.
No, it's still a strong team, though. I know it's probably you haven't got some of your main players.
Cross it in for Merino, and just give the ball to Wanyeri to cross it in, and just see where we go from there.
How do you spell the striker's name? Sorry.
Merino.
Bertie, how do you
You've got to put him in.
How do you feel about that this season? Because from the outside looking in, it was almost like it was criminal to not have someone prolific or potentially prolific in that position. I don't see Havertz as an out-and-out striker by any means. I don't think he would get you that many goals across the season. Was this something that Arsenal fans were just accepting, or was it something that was really a thorn in your side?
I have been saying for years that the one position we need is a proper number 9 striker. Anyone and their mother could have seen that before this season began. It was the one position that we needed to strengthen. It was so obvious. Whilst Havertz has had a few purple patches here and there, he's not an out-and-out striker that's going to get you 20-plus goals a season. And if you want to compete with the best nowadays, if you want to try and win the league, you need that striker that's going to get you 20-plus goals. And for whatever reason, we didn't get one. We ended up spending more money on left backs and a 32-year-old cup-tied goalkeeper on loan for some bizarre reason. But we've got a new director of football coming in now, a sporting director in Andrea Berta, who, based on his CV, seems like a very ambitious and very high-profile director of football, I beg your pardon. So we'll have to see what happens in the summer transfer window. But anyone could have seen the one position we had to strengthen before the season began was a striker. And for some bizarre reason, we didn't. And look at what we have here. Jesus is out injured, and now Havertz is out injured. Arguably, Martinelli could be a number 9. He played in that position under Emery, but Arteta is a very strange man, and he doesn't want to do what his predecessor did and play Martinelli at number 9, because in his little arrogant mind that he has, to him, that's admitting defeat. Even though Martinelli might actually be quite good at number 9, as he has done that in the past. But no, I don't know. We needed to get a striker, and for whatever reason, we didn't do that. We need to do that next.
What about DCL for a summer buy? Calvert-Lewin.
A few seasons ago,
a
few seasons ago, I would have said yes. Although Beto looks quite tasty at the moment, doesn't he?
Yeah, you can have Beto if you want.
Yeah. Paul's not his biggest fan. I rate him more than Paul. Paul's like, he hasn't won Paul's heart.
He's not scored in a while, but he seems quite. If he's not scored in a while, you just know it'll be the most Arsenal thing ever for Beto to break his streak and score against us tomorrow. But
probably,
you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if you did get Calvert-Lewin. Not for any no. I think that you should have got like Osherman or Tony. They were the two strikers that.
Tony, I was saying either Osherman Tony or Gorkarez. Those are my two choices to immediately
Osherman, who as well, who's at Napoli, he's going back to Napoli. And I thought he would have been a good one for you. But the Calvert-Lewin will be on a free, Paul. You don't even have to buy him. He's done us over. He's made sure he's gone on a free. Calvert-Lewin, the little bugger. But
it was a little bit
on a free and get a striker.
Yeah, it was a little bit like if someone at work tells you that they're leaving and then suddenly they go on the sick until they actually do leave. That's where Calvert-Lewin seems to be honest. So yeah, he's done all right for us in the past to a degree, but
I think
we need to move up a level, and I think he's not to the level that you would want. But I tell you what, I mean, apart from Rice, I'm sort of thinking, who was the last big striker that you splashed money on? It was Jesus.
The last, I'd say, world class or close to world class striker we had was Aubameyang when we signed him in 2018, and. I mean, this could be a whole different video about why I didn't agree with him leaving. That's a story for another day. That's a whole different can of worms we're not going to open. Mainly because Lee Meadows will be mad at me. And but yeah,
I can tell you've spoken about this before.
He was the last world class, or indeed close to world class striker that we had. Maybe, when we were trying to eke our way to Champions League football those seasons ago, maybe if we kept him, we could have made it. I don't know. That's all ifs, buts, and maybes. But I think it was a bit of a mistake to get rid of him, especially considering that we haven't replaced him. I know people say...
Lacazette as well.
I know people will say, what about Jesus? But he was more Lacazette's replacement. And that's going swimmingly well. But Aubameyang was the last striker we had.
Lacazette and Aubameyang to go, and you haven't really brought in much anything striker-esque after, have you? But it's not like us. I don't know why you've delayed. Like you've just said, it's bizarre. Everyone knew that Arsenal needed a striker, and Paul just took the table on there. It's like you knew you could have gone for the league and just gave up on going for the league, which is bizarre because it's been the worst season ever and probably the easiest season to win the Premier League. I've never known a season so bad for a team to win the Premier League. And Arsenal, you could have done it this season if you would have brought a striker. I really do believe that. I think that would have been the difference,
Yeah. No, I agree.
Is that going to be, Bertie, is that going to be your biggest weakness then? A lack of... Because you do score goals. I mean, Odegaard hasn't scored in the league since, December or something?
Odegaard...
Do you know what I mean? So he's in a bit of a lull.
Not been good at all.
But you've got you've obviously got Rice scores a few goals. I mean,
You may-
there's talk of your man Saka being back.
Yeah,
Is that gonna happen?
I'd still have him on the bench tomorrow because he's just come back from a pretty lengthy hamstring injury. It's important to ease him back into it. Maybe we might start him against Real Madrid. I don't want to, start him immediately. It's important that he just eases back in gently. I don't want to. He's a great player for us. I don't want to rush him back from such a lengthy injury. So, I would personally be sensible and put him on the bench tomorrow. But you mentioned Odegaard. I don't think he should be captain. I see captains as you could say, good form. This was the argument 2 seasons ago. Good form can make you a captain. But I see the captains as the leaders. I personally think Declan Rice or Gabriel, if he wasn't injured now, should be the captain rather than Odegaard. We need a bit of
100%,
leadership
100%.
rather than, I don't see Odegaard as a commanding leader. Declan Rice and Gabriel are much better with the armband than him. Rice has captained England before and West Ham. I think he's got better leadership qualities than Odegaard has, in my view.
On to what you're saying, you mentioned him now. I'm going to try and keep putting comments up when we can, just to get everyone involved in the comments. Keep putting your comments in. We'll get as many as we can on. If we miss them, we're sorry, but keep putting
I knew that would trigger Mr. Meadows there.
I know he's there as well. I'll chuck his on as well. Gabriel is a huge miss for them, especially on corner kicks. And you were just talking about him as captain material. He is a really good player, isn't he? And I think he is your main player. He kind of leads, doesn't he? He's got a really competitive mentality, Auntie. You can tell he is what you need, and I think him out is massive. Well, a massive.
And some of the last-ditch tackles he's made across this season has been detrimental to us, and arguably he's been our best player this season. Maybe Timber could be in that contention, and there's talk of him potentially having a knock as well. So it's all a bit up and down at the moment. But Gabriel is just an absolute huge miss for us. And when Calafiore, what I would do, obviously I'd rest Timber for this game because we've got Real Madrid coming up. But going forward, because Timber can play centre-back, I would have a back four of White, Timber, Saliba and Lewis Skelly going forward with Gabriel's injury.
No, it is a bit of a mix-up, and he did say that Saka on a super sub when he gave me this lineup, people. So he wasn't completely leaving Saka out. He wanted Saka on, but I would risk it.
I think regardless of the scoreline, I would bring him on in about the 70th minute mark because, as I mentioned, he's just recovered from a grade 3 hamstring injury, and I'm worried if we rush him back straight away. He might, a bit like there's a bit of a worry of Ben White. He might have injured the same knee as he got injured with a few months ago. I don't want to rush Saka back, so that's why I would have him on the bench and bring him on in around the 70th minute mark, regardless of the scoreline, because he's a detrimental player for us, and I don't want Saka to become what Jack Wilshere was back in the day. So it's important to ease him gently back in.
You do need a first head-to-head moment here. Plus, he does limp off all the time, so I can see why you'd be scared because he does that injured limp even when he's not injured. So you'd be bricking it. He can score and limp. Yeah, I think he just does that limp to keep Arsenal fans absolutely bricking it every second of every game because I've seen it a couple of times when he's not even injured. So I'd be scared all the time with Saka. So he looks like he could be on the verge of getting injury prone. So I think it's massive that they bring him back fully fit and keep him fully fit. I get where you're coming from. Paul, did you have some things to chuck on the screen before we put our lineup up?
Yeah, I was just mentioning there off our Twitter. Arteta knows what it's like here. So he's saying, oh, no, it's wrong. Everton's the biggest game for us. So he knows because he's been there. Back in the day.
It's the Mikel Arteta derby, in a way, because he used to play with both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how young does Moyes look there? Never mind Arteta. Arteta's not changed.
Arteta's not aged at all. Moyes looks younger in that.
Still got the same hair. exactly the same hair. It's not grown or anything. It's just the same hair.
Probably died.
But
He's definitely died.
but yeah, I mean their side's formidable. But like you say, without Gabriel, it's acceptable. Maybe set pieces is one thing. But Arsenal score from set pieces too. They're up there. I think it's us and them on 13 goals off set pieces this season, Premier League. So it could be the battle of the set pieces at 1 or 2 points, especially if Arsenal can't break down how we go into bank of 4, bank of 5. So
yeah, I reckon
it'd be a close game, I'd imagine.
And we struggle with that.
Mm. Well, I think not having that focal point. I mean, I don't think any striker would want to play against Tarkowski at the moment, to be honest. But if you do get around the back of our fullbacks and then pull that ball back into the area,
he'd be out for revenge as well.
Sometimes be a little bit slow in reacting. So, and Odegaard not having scored for ages and me mentioning him obviously means that he's going to score tomorrow. But like you said, maybe Beto will as well.
Well, I think that might be. We'll have to wait and see on that. The past few months, even he was when for his first game back from injury, you could tell that he was that we missed him. But I think since then he's not been the same player. It's quite ironic because when Odegaard got injured and all the other players around him were fit, you had our fans going, "Well, the reason why all these players are underperforming is because Odegaard's not there." And now when Odegaard's back, our fans are now saying, "Oh, it's because he hasn't got the right players around him." Which one is it?
They're all fickle. Yeah, absolutely.
The online side of the Arsenal fan base. Do you know what? If you're watching, if you want to go for whatever reason you want to go through watching a Liverpool game, don't go on Twitter because all you see is Arsenal fans just moaning and becoming so. I mean, that game against Everton, I haven't seen such a delusional side of Arsenal fans before. So they just can't take the fact that a new manager in Arne Slot has come in and has outperformed Arteta in like a few months than Arteta's done in 5 years. Sorry for bringing that up. I know you're Everton fans, but yeah. Our fan base is certainly a unique fan base, put it that way.
Everyone's got them.
The thing is,
more than others.
The thing is with them, I remember more this season with them. With them, I'll talk about them one more time, but I'm going to call them the Copites. I remember more this season of them getting beat by Newcastle in the Cup and them getting knocked out by PSG in the Champions League than them winning the crappiest Premier League title I've ever seen. This has been shocking. Everyone's crap this season.
Got the quality of
Man United and Tottenham could get relegated.
Oh, this could be a story for another day. The quality of football this season. I think the penny dropped for a lot of people when they saw Tottenham against Chelsea last night. The quality of football, like the what a fall from grace. Anyway, that's a completely different subject.
Yeah, it's not been that good, and I'm just gutted that you're not top of the league. Shall we do our lineup then, Paul?
Yes, get it on. Yeah, get it on. And if anyone's got more lineup to throw in as well, then do.
I feel that's a given. Or is there anything you'd like to change there, Paul?
No, not so much.
No attack, but I suppose if you go defensive against Arsenal,
we'll just play with 7 players. Fair enough. We don't need any more than that. It's fine.
If you was to go with
some games under Dice, it was like that. That's exactly what it was like. Absolutely.
If you was to go like with wrestlers up front, who would you go for, Paul?
Wrestlers?
I'd have like Macho Man up here.
Yeah.
I'd probably have Bret Hart there.
Right.
What wrestler would you have on the wing? What wrestler do you think would be good on the? I tell you what, Rey Mysterio.
It has to be someone quite fast and pacey.
Rey Mysterio would be
someone quite fast paced.
I would
more technician, if you will.
For the
with
For
a goal.
for the really old archives, I go Superfly Jimmy Snooker on the left-hand side. He used to fly.
Superfly Jimmy Snooker. Let's do
Yeah.
him.
I mean, you can
Not
only
to murder anyone when you
you'd have to
do that.
you'd have to have the Undertaker, wouldn't you, up front?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
do you know what I mean?
He's the
Being
one that got me
goals.
into wrestling.
I think he'd be in goals, the Undertaker. Yeah, Undertaker would be in goals, wouldn't he? He's quite
You know
tall.
what? It's weird that you mention that because me and the daughter have been catching up on old Royal Rumbles. You know where they're all in.
Yeah, I love them. I do.
I love them.
I watch
They
them
were
on
awesome.
YouTube. Some of the old ones. You can't beat them, can you? They are good. But we're not. By the way, just in case you've just come on and you think that wrestlers are going to play for Everton tomorrow, they're not. Right? We just had a real bad moment of heads where we just.
Well, if we see some 2-foot tackles tomorrow, then I might foreshadow something.
I'm not going to lie. I think they raised a lot of money for charities with the some of the YouTubers playing football. I think you'd raise even more money by wrestlers playing football. So it's just a suggestion. And if it does happen and you make millions, just think of me. Chuck 100k to Toffee Bluecast as well if you make millions. Yeah, that'd be nice. Make my dreams come true. Right. Who are we going for then? This is a given.
Yokozuna in goal. Sorry, I can't get off it. Yokozuna in goal.
Booker T.
Actually, you know what? Weirdly, I'm pretty sure Yokozuna died in the Adelphi Hotel in Liverpool. Fun fact.
Yeah, he was wrestling in the UK, and he did die during a tour in the UK. His last media appearance was on The Big Breakfast.
Was it really?
It was. Genuinely. He was trying to chat up Denise Van Houten. It's on YouTube.
We took it off scale.
Hey, this is happy half hour talk. This time. This is happy half hour.
Before we get back onto the football, right? I'm just which wrestler, and let us know in the comments. You might not like wrestling, so don't worry. Just put who you don't like and anything else. But which wrestler did you not like the most? Because there's always a wrestler that you didn't like. I'm going to give two. My two was like not as old school, but Randy Orton. I used to hate him. Booker T. Booker T used to do my head in. I tell you, he used to pop do my head in with a hand out all the time.
You couldn't dig that, sucker.
No, I couldn't dig it. He'd dig my head in.
Woo! I hated Ric Flair, and he went on for years.
I love Ric Flair.
Absolutely ridiculous. Nightmare.
But who's yours that you didn't like? Or did you like them all? Goldust?
I didn't like Brock Lesnar when he was part-time because he didn't have the belt that much and he didn't appear on TV or on pay-per-view that much. So that could be an option. But yeah. I find wrestling far less stressful to talk about than football.
Did you notice we went happy couple of minutes when we started talking about wrestling? But no, we're going to get back to the stress, people. We are getting back to the stress. So, Paul, here we go. Well, this is where it gets stressful.
We've had so many more comments of wrestling than lineup.
Yeah. Right. Come on, Paul. In the number 10.
Yes.
This is where it gets stressful.
Well, it is. And going off what David was saying in his press conference, some of the lads coming back are available, but maybe you wouldn't start them. And then he was talking about shoehorning in Alcaraz, and when he was and Decore in the same side. When he was talking, it seemed very much as though Decore was the priority. The work off the ball, especially, seemed to be the priority, and then Alcaraz would have to kind of just fit in where we could have him. Like Jack Harrison being on the right because McNeil was playing really well on the left, or stuff like that, and that's a little bit disappointing. I'm hoping obviously it's just a short-term kind of fix, and then as the team progresses, then hopefully players like Alcaraz will be first names on the team sheet in that number 10. But the way it's going and the way David says, Decore is number 10 all day.
So we're going to put Decore in. I know it's really interesting listening to that because he did speak about Decore highly, like he hasn't got a problem with him, which we all know. And they spoke to him and said, Njai's position as the number 10, do you think you could ever play him? And Moyes says, yeah, we could play there, but unfortunately we're struggling on the wings. And he'll get played more on the wings than what he will in the number 10. So in the number 10, we've got Decore, Alcaraz and Njai. But we are struggling with wingers. Obviously, we've got some coming back now. But I think Lindstrom will be out for the rest of the season if it's a hernia. I mean, I'm not a professional on hernias. I don't know how long it will take. But they said it might be a hernia. And if it is a hernia, I think Lindstrom will be out. And that's sad because he's on loan. We wanted to see what he's got this season. He hasn't been that good yet, but he still probably wanted to prove himself. So Lindstrom could be finished if it's a hernia. So we've only really got Jack Harrison as a winger. And Jai's coming back, luckily, who is a number 10, isn't a winger, can play on the wing. He does it well. And then you've got McNeil coming back, but we don't even know if he could start. So
no. I mean, we're April now. There's 8 games left for Goodison. Do you know what I mean? And they come thick and fast as well now. Really. They all come flying. So no, we haven't got sort of many natural wingers. But you know what? The way teams play now anyway, and Bertie will probably say this as well, is that you don't tend to have a right footer on the right wing, a left footer on the left wing. Do you know what I mean? They often come inside a lot now. So a lot of sides tend to find that when they're moving forward. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'm not putting them in the same bracket, but the same sentence. Yeah. Jack Harrison's the same. When he's on the right-hand side, as long as we've known him, the vast majority of times that he has the ball, he'll come inside and want to cross it on his left. I understand that because he's naturally left, but it does kind of narrow everything down. But that's the way it is at the moment. If you're playing players like Alcaraz on that left-hand side to fill a gap, he'll prefer to go on his right-hand side, I'd imagine, you know, and come in and do something like that. Skillyman would be the same. So it's not an absolute disaster not to have 2 natural wingers. I mean, we did have sort of Garner Gay and James Garner, for example, with Armstrong and Decore or Njai in front of them, almost like a square, if you like, behind the striker. So I don't think it's major problems because I don't see Arsenal having touchline wingers. So Alcaraz can easily play that left-hand side and Harrison right, or vice versa.
So we're going to go for Alcaraz on the left, yeah?
Well, I mean, I would throw Harrison left in the what I've just said, but I would Harrison, when he's played, has seemed far more relaxed and composed on the ball when he's on the left-hand side. I mean, also as well, I tell you what, O'Brien likes to get forward, doesn't he? Yeah, so there's not a problem with Alcaraz being that right-hand side and allowing Jake to get forward sometimes. It's up for grabs. It really is. It really is.
Yeah, well, I think Alcaraz, he's his number 10, but when you play him on the wing, he's like Messi. He's that skillful that he can handle any position. He reminds me of Pienaar, like he's got Pienaar capability. So I think Njai, you get away with it. Alcaraz, I do feel he's being effective playing on the wing because he's not a trap backer and he's not a run past, bomb it past someone through on the wings. Alcaraz isn't a winger. He's more central. I know you can tell he's a player that could even play where Garner's playing. Like he's a centre midfielder. I'm telling you. So I don't think he's a winger, and I don't think it suits him that much, Paul. It's affected him a little bit more than what it is Njai. Yeah,
I mean, I see Alcaraz like a Bruno Fernandes with pace. Do you know what I mean? And certainly when he's at his best kind of games with us, I sort of remember the West Ham equaliser, for example. Do you know what I mean? And leading up to that in the few minutes before, he was almost sometimes our player who was furthest back, just receiving the ball and trying to make things happen. So, you know, the thing is, obviously, then he's in the area making things happen and putting the ball across for Garner Gay. So I think he could play in lots of different positions. Central is going to be the most effective. So if he does take the place of James Garner, who's getting a little bit of stick from various people, then so be it. Doyley makes a good point. A few other people did as well. That you've got players on the bench who can be a bit more attacking in those winger areas. So maybe you don't need to shoehorn Alcaraz in favour of taking a bit of attacking impetus away. But he doesn't change the team very often. So I guess we'll see.
I do. The way I look at it, the only thing that makes me feel better is I'm thinking, looking at that, if Mikalenko and O'Brien are bombing it forward as fullbacks, it moves Alcaraz and Harrison in the number 10 anyway. So I'm not going to cry too much about it, because if your fullbacks are bombing it forward, your wingers can push in wherever they want and they can do more stuff. So as long as the O'Brien and Mikalenko are bombing it forward, it just gives Alcaraz and Harrison a bit more freedom to go more central. And I think that's when it can be effective, is when Alcaraz can get close to where Decore is. So I wanted to say on Tarkowski, you mentioned it earlier on, both of you, about him. I was worried that he could be a little bit like with his wife saying death threats and stuff, which is ridiculous. I think he'll back out of a couple of tackles here, and I know it's not in his blood to back out of tackles, but I do think he'll have it in his head that he doesn't want to come across a dirty player. So I just think it will add a little bit more pressure on him this game. Striker, who are we going for, Paul?
Well, it's good. You know what? It's good that you've got Brozier and you've got Schmidt on the bench. I don't think Beto would be complacent anyway. He doesn't seem like that kind of fella, to be honest. But he'll start.
Yeah.
Of course he will. Of course he will. He's running off the ball. When we've got the ball, his running off the ball is good. It is. And the Red Shite did not want to play against him. He caused them a lot of bother in particular times during that game on Wednesday. So, he deserves to keep going. But Brozier and Schmidt, it's up to them to push him until either Beto gets better or they get the chance.
At least you've got a striker. You've got two strikers in your team. So you've got an advantage.
We've got Shemiti as well that's just come. He's good young talent as well. Shemiti, so Brozier, Beto and Shemiti, not to rub it in. That's one thing we are overloaded on, but sometimes you've got to get the ball to the strikers, ain't you? Sometimes having too many strikers can be stressful because it can make them all play crap because you've got too many. There's a lot of pressure on that striker that does play. But I'm with you, Paul. I'd stick with Beto here. Bertie, this is our team. What do you like? What are you scared of?
Anything.
I rate Branthwaite. I think he's a very decent defender. I think the fact that you have as I mentioned, you've actually got a striker in your team, more than one striker nonetheless, is more of an advantage to us. I remember Garner Gay scored a tremendous free kick at the Emirates last season to put you guys 1-0 up. That's something we can't do, score free kicks. We have free kicks scored against us, not for us, though, sadly.
It was rare for us, to be honest. It was very rare for us.
Well, yeah. So you've got a few players in there that can stress Arsenal out, but which you did at the Emirates. To be honest, all you've got to do is play a low block. We won't do much. We struggle against low block teams. You mastered that at the Emirates. You may not win, but you wouldn't lose, put it that way. Yeah, so I think you'll probably end up playing a bit like that tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe you might go for it being the last home game. But yeah, I can certainly see there are a few players out there that might fancy their chances against us.
We've both got chances. I still think Arsenal big out. I just see them, even though you've got players missing. It's a very hard game this is, and if we won, I'd be very proud that we beat you because you've just got some sensational players. Even more so if Saka is back. Have we got any lineups in the comments, Paul? Because they normally get involved on the lineups. Don't think there's many. think the
I
problem
should have
is we-
warned you at the beginning. I've never been the most optimistic Arsenal fan out there. I'm just used to it, year after year of, Anyway,
It's hustling, Paul. It's hustling us. It's hustling us. Don't be fooled by the hustle.
He's going to come back in with a 5-0 victory and the
it'll be like it could be like PSV where I had no hope and then we ended up winning 7-1. But I don't expect that.
He'll act like a miserable Arsenal fan all the way through the channel, and then when we do our score predictions in a minute, at the end you'll be like Arsenal.
Maybe it's mind games.
Like, you know what I mean?
You never know.
Yeah, don't be fooled.
Yeah,
he's trying to get vertical.
Eugene reckons Dave's going to keep the same team as we had Wednesday. Scouse is in. Pickford, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Branthwaite, Miko, just like we said. He's chained out Jimmy Garner for Timo Robenham to go alongside Garner Gay. It's a fair shout. Tim's good every time he's sort of come on, really.
I like Robenham. Yeah, I do like him.
I think he's waiting for his chance. He's waiting for his chance. So Jimmy's going to have to pull his socks up, really. I think there's a little bit of pressure on one or two players to produce. Linsom's going to be injured, so yeah, it'd be Harrison, Scouse, Alcaraz, Njai. So he would start Njai, and then he'd go Brozier up front, which would be interesting. Brozier seems to have, when he's come on for us, and I don't know whether that was the case on Wednesday, it seemed like it a little bit, that he's kind of getting this right forward kind of position because there's a little opening there. We haven't got sort of a full winger on the right-hand side, and we've got people who prefer to come inwards. But Brozier does like that right-hand side to sort of get away from that centre-back who's pulled out of position, then get down the line and then cut in closer to goal. So he seems to have found a little niche where he might be able to get in the side a little bit more. So that'll be interesting to see if that happens. Pause it in. So I'm not doing the voice again. God's sake!
It was good last time.
So
you know what? We should get Bertie to do. We should get Bertie to do it because he's got the poshest voice out of the lot.
It'd be very good, to be fair.
Bertie has got the posh voice. Go Bertie, read him out. Go Bertie, read him out for us.
Comments for Jordan Pickford, Sarr, Jake O.B. King, Tarky, Prince Branthwaite, the Salah Tamer Mikalenko, His Right Honourable Garner, Middle England Lord Tim, Sir Broja, the God and Die, New Maradona Charlie, Big Bull Beto. There you go.
Some things are just meant to be, and I've never been more proud of getting Bertie on the show. Just for that moment. Do you know where sometimes in life some things just click, like some lyrics in a song when your life's going.
Can I just say to
that was just
Emma, you're not the first person to say that. From Boris Johnson to David Mitchell, I've been described as many other like.
I much prefer David Mitchell, to be honest.
I couldn't have asked for a better person to have read that out. And I know Paul's would have been at his ass, smiling his head off that you read that out for him because we just couldn't have done it as good as you. Yeah, he loves it. That's what we do on the Toffee Blue cast. Any other lineups? Can't beat it after that, can you?
Not really, no. I mean, what's different from maybe the last couple of weeks is that it's not just the Alcaraz Decore conversation. It's is bro, you got to shout. Is James Garner sort of be swapped with a couple of other people? So we're getting people back, and that's good. There's a few more options, and we're maybe a little less predictable because of that.
Yeah, for saying we haven't got a big squad. A lot of players are coming fit at the right time, and we've got a lot of players chomping at the bit. And listening to Bertie, it seems that he's got a lot of players injured now. So we've got to appreciate that we have got players fit, because at this time of the season, a lot of players are out. You look all over, the teams have got players missing. Luckily, we've been through that bad patch with the players missing and still was unbeaten in 9 before that last crap game. So we've gone through the bad patch and got players coming back, so we can finish the season strong. Paul thinks we're safe without even winning a game, but we ain't mathematically safe because Ipswich could probably win every game. So we do need to win a game, though. We've got to make sure we're mathematically safe, and to do it against Arsenal would be nice. Bit gutted if we beat Arsenal because I feel like Liverpool are close to winning the league. So I was tempted to let Arsenal win this, but I don't think we can because we might not get a win later on. So I can't just let Arsenal have the win. Of course we can't. But I
It's
do.
a win-win
wish Arsenal won
situation
the
for
league.
you, really.
Yeah.
If you win, you win, and that's great. But if you lose, it means that there's a slight chance Liverpool might end up.
You've got to pull your
never
socks up and
happened.
catch
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
Do you know what I mean? We've been trying.
If you could assure me, Bertie, that if we lost against you, you would 100% win every game and win the league, and they'd lose, I'd happily just give you the game and say, yeah. But I'm still not convinced after how much you've been letting me down this season that you would go and do that.
I mean, Arsenal trying to do people a favour, especially when the pressure's on. Who'd have thunk it?
I don't think it'd happen. I've been watching you all the time to keep getting into form, smashing.
One time when Man City start underperforming as well, this should have been our opportunity to grasp it.
This is what I tell you. When I'm not just saying it because it's Liverpool, but generally, Chelsea awful, Arsenal massively nowhere near as good as last season. Tottenham relegation battle, Man United relegation battle. It's the most craziest season ever, and it really is.
As I mentioned, the drop in quality in some of the teams from now to 10 years ago is almost like night and day.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
bit of racing commentary, Bertie. Bit of racing commentary. Sainsbury this week.
I could be the new Murray Walker.
Thanks, Bertie, for coming on this show because he is hosting the Grand National tomorrow. As you could just hear, he is doing the calling on the Grand National. Right then, people, this is the main part that you've all been waiting for. Some of you don't put comments in all the way through, but then you pop your head out when it's this score prediction time because you all love a score prediction. Everyone does. You can't not do a score prediction. We've got Bertie on, so it's going to be even more interesting. I'll put him below us, Paul. Do you know what I mean? There you go. Because it's just separating him from us. And this is where we go head to head. This is where we separate the Arsenal and the Everton love. There's no love right now because it is score prediction time. Get your scores, and we want your score.
Yeah.
And we also want your goal scorers because with that sad, we want to know exactly what's going to happen and what you're thinking. So get your score predictions in and your goal scorers, people. Right, so we're going to go for Paul first because I always do him first to give me more time to think because I'm not the brightest spark. Then I'm going to go Bertie in the middle, and then I'm going to go me at the end. So Paul's score prediction, then Bertie, then me, and we'll read yours out in the comments, people. What you got from? I'm interested on yours today, Paul.
Yeah, like I said, I always fancy us to get something against Arsenal. We didn't quite get the rub of the green last season in this fixture, but there's times when we've actually we've come good. I did have it. Oh, there we go. I'll just show the picture of that goal. Anyone recognise that one? So go on.
Was this the Rafa Benitez era?
You know what? It might have been. That wasn't the reason. But it was.
I know, don't mention that. It'll make me hate it. It'll make me hate the goal.
Don't do that. No. But Gray scoring in injury time to win it 2-1.
Good goal that was.
Cracking goal and good memories of that night. So you know what? I'm going to go for a 2-1. I'm going to go for a little repeat of that. I'm going to go Beto to Garage. I think we'll score first. I think Odegaard will score now that I've bloody set that up. So that'll be 1-1. And then someone to get the winner late on. You know what? No. Sod it. I've thought it now. Broja. He'll get the winner. Cutting in from right-hand side. Bam. 2-1. So 2-1 for me.
2-1. Love it. Positive from Paul. Straight in for the kill there. He's not messing about with Bertie. Right, Bertie. What is Bertie going to hit us with here?
I'm also going for 2-1, but the other way around. I'm going 2-1 to Arsenal. It'll be a very nervy 2-1 for us. we'll go 1-0 up, then it'll be 1-1, and then it'll be 2-1 Arsenal late on in the second half. Mikel Merino will score a diving header from a cross. Beto, however you pronounce it, will score for Everton because he's due a goal. That'll be the equaliser. And who will get the winner for Arsenal? Let me think. Do I go for Saka off the bench again? Martinelli, why not? He played so well against Fulham. I think he's due a goal if he gets back into form. Why not?
Fair
you see, you've been so nice to me on this podcast. I've given you a goal for my prediction.
Thank you very much.
If we'd been that nice to you, you could have just gone Arsenal lose 2-1. But I completely
I
get
don't want to be too negative.
100%.
You know, I want to represent my team a bit more. You know,
I now know that Evertonian in your family is not in your blood now after you going with that score prediction. He's gone completely against us.
Right,
I expect it,
so it's fine.
Right,
on,
here we go. I'm going to go for. See, I want loads of Everton players to score, so I feel like going like 6-0 or something. But I know how good Arsenal are, so I can't. Because when I go to do goal scorers, I love all my players at the minute. I'm going to go 2-1, and I hate to copy. I always want to be different. But I'm the same. I can't see us keeping a clean sheet against you, and I think we're going to win. So 2-1. I can't go too high. 2-1. Your goal scorer is going to be. I think Odegaard, he's going to be a shit bag. Do you know what I mean? On the edge of the box, not one in, top corner. I could see it happening.
He's been out of form for a while. Yeah. He's definitely due a goal. But whether it's against you guys, who knows?
Well, I'm completely with you. I think before he got injured, I thought he was class, because I watched him and I thought, when I watched him, I didn't think he was that good when I watched him, and I didn't think he was the hype that people said. And I watched him and I thought, oh, he really is getting good. He's so technical. And then he got injured, and when he's come back, he hasn't been the same player because I've watched it a couple of times. So he hasn't been what he was before he was injured. But I'm going to go with him because that's what happens with us. If you need a player to get sparked back up,
good game,
we'll let him spark back up. A goal, I want Beto to score. I don't want people on his back. If he starts, I want him to score just to keep the Everton fans happy. Because I just think he's good. He deserved it. He hit the post. You can't get closer than hitting the post last game. Come on, goal post. Don't be nasty to him. Beto is he's on my goal sheet. And then I'm going to go for. We need a headed goal against you. It's always going to happen. But I'd love Tarkowski to score the goal because he had a lot of shit just for a tackle.
Like 2 seasons ago when he got the winner for you.
Yeah, exactly. And he's had his.
He needs his revenge. He'll be out for blood after what happened this week.
Yeah, so I just wouldn't mind Tarkowski scoring the winner. It'd be weird if Tarkowski scored the winner and then they went and said that they're banning him for the tackle, and he ends up getting his yellow turned over to be a red, and he probably shouldn't have even played this Arsenal game. That'd be a funny one, wouldn't it? But no, I'm going to go for Tarkowski. Tarkowski and Beto 2-1. What have we got in the comments, Paul?
Lots. Favorite part for lots of people. This. So I know, yeah, no, they are loads. Scouse has gone 1-0. Alcaraz, that'd be good, wouldn't it? That'd be good. James went 2-0, I presume for us. Doyley's gone 1-1. He's being being However, though, Lulu went 0-0, so she's been a bit modest as well.
Yeah.
Keegan Dolby, good lad. First time in with us. 3-0 win.
Like him.
Rod Ross is in. Beto Ambrosia doomed us. No, it's just, premonitions. It's awesome. James actually gone 2-0. Alcaraz and Beto changed his mind a bit. Emma's gone 2-1 as well. She's very good at predictions, so she knows what she's talking about. We can't have a score prediction without Eugene. So what's Eugene gone for, Dan?
Well, Eugene has gone for his legendary 4-1, I presume, that he goes for every game.
4-1.
And,
Beto hat-trick. Alcaraz in there with the other one.
Bertie would love this. I could imagine some of those Arsenal YouTubers kicking the studio around if this happened and going absolutely nuts on Arteta. Blood! Arteta, blood! Get him out, blood! Get him out, blood! Arteta, get him out! You shit! You shit, man! Arteta, get him out, blood! No.
I wouldn't use words like that, but I would say something along the lines of that, yes.
Get him out! I told you, Arteta, he's crap. No,
Maybe
but,
fam.
We're quite calm on this. You know what? It felt good. I should do that with some of Everton's players when they play crap.
That was like a release for you, that was.
Yeah, it actually was, Paul. I think if any Everton player plays crap this Arsenal game, I'm going to do the same kickoff on our match reaction. It just feels better.
Different words. Use laugh. Use lad.
Let it out.
Yeah.
Right, I'm not going to do Scouts. I'm all for it. Right,
Keegan, don't even start. No. Pull at that.
I went high pitch then, didn't I? Bloody hell.
Beto and Ashley Young and Tarkovsky for the 3-0 for Keegan. Doyley's 1-1 is a Garner for us and a Saka for you. Emma's 2 goals for us are going to be O'Brien and Tarkovsky. Steph's in. She's gone for a 2-1 as well. Popular scoreline. But you can always count on pause. If you think Eugene's is optimistic, there we go. So 6-2. 6-2. One of the classics. Beto, NGI, bro, yeah. Branthwaite and then Pickford. I do like that. I hope I see that at some point. Pickford scoring a goal for us. It'd be awesome. And then your goal scorers, he's just going to go for Thierry Henry and Ian Wright. They're good.
We do need strikers. We do need them out of retirement, so might as well.
Exactly. So no, all good. And at the moment, if I've got 1 or 2 others, I'll throw them on. Scar says 2-1. Say Alcaraz for us. Emma's going tomorrow, so Lulu says she's going to score both goals. Megs is in, lovely Megs as well. But tomorrow she's going for a 3-2 result for us. Tarkovsky, 1 from Beto, 1 from Alcaraz. And where are we? I think that's about all it is.
That's the thing, though. Like, even if we're like mathematically safe this season, which was the main thing for us, is to go into that new stadium in the Premier League, because everyone's been mocking us saying we're going to be in the new stadium in the Championship. So we just needed to be stable, get into the new stadium in the Premier League, and our financial situation is good now, so we can spend next winter. The only way is up for us, basically. We just need why the waves are rough. We just need to make sure we ride them and get into the new stadium. That's all we tried to do the last 2-3 seasons, because of Mashiri's made such a mess of this club. But now we're in a good situation. We just get. But one thing I will say is, I know all that matters is that we stay up, but it's the last couple of games at Goodison Park, and you want good memories. And I think if we lose these games, the last games at Goodison Park, it doesn't feel good, does it? It doesn't feel good to lose. So we do need to, for good memories of Goodison Park on these last games at Goodison Park, we need to get a couple of wins to create those good memories. We can't just lose, even if we are mathematically safe. So we've got to try and get some wins at Goodison Park. Well, how many games have we got left at Goodison Park, Paul, now? 5. 4, Bertie. Yeah. That's it. That's all we got, Bertie. 4 games at Goodison Park. Yeah, make the most of it. So Arsenal's a big team. If we don't beat them, which I think we will, but if we don't, then we've got to beat everyone else out after. But Bertie's been a cracking person. Bertie, plug yourself, mate. Where are you from? Tell people. Give yourself a plug.
Thank you for having me on this show. I've had a great time. You can. Well, I'm not on much channels recently, but I will tell you a few channels I have been on and you should subscribe to. One of them is Gooner Gathering, who's in the chat right now. youtube.com/Gooner Gathering. You can follow them on Twitter and Instagram under the same name. Yep, they're very good people, and you should subscribe to them.
There you go. He does help him out a lot, and he did recommend Bertie.
They are 7 subscribers away from 400 subscribers. So everyone, I know Some
There
of
you
you
go.
in the chat might not be Arsenal fans, but please help Gooner Gathering out. They deserve it. Get subscribing and get them to the magic 400.
Yeah, you can. You don't have to watch every show when you subscribe. Just get over there, subscribe, and it just doesn't even pop up that much anyway. So get over there, hit the subscribe. It's free. Why wouldn't you to help people out? Just why he's just said that on Toffee Bluecast. We're only about 20, probably 30. Maybe it's 30. I'm getting excited on 20. Probably about 30 subscribers off 6,000. So 6,000 subscribers is just unreal. And I can't tell you how much we appreciate that because we started. I think we've got. This must be in what was we on? I don't know what we was on last season, Paul. But we must have
Our
done
target,
about 3,000.
our target for the end of the season was 2,000, and we said goodbye to that in about November. So we're 5,570. At 5,970, we're only 30 away from reaching the 6K. So it's been a long time coming, but the people in here they're brilliant. They are so good, and we wouldn't.
They make us keep going.
The show's only as good as it is because of the comments we throw on and everything else. So thanks everybody.
Yeah, they make us keep going. They push us to do the right thing, and we do like this opposition fan guest. It gives a really good head-to-head before the game to get. It's been nice to take a dive
I've done this
into
with
Arsenal
Gathering
today.
before, getting opposition fans.
Yeah.
It's great to have hear the perspective of opposition fans as well, because you can learn a thing or two from what they think and everything like that. So
it has been nice to look into how an Arsenal fan feels and stuff like that. And Bert has been a cracking guest, people. That is the end of the show. We are left with the game tomorrow. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a cracker. You've all got your score predictions in. We'll see who's right. And I look forward to it. I'm glad this game's come quick, but I won't be glad it's come quick if we play really bad. So let's play good. See you later, everyone. Drop in the banner now. Bertie, I'm wishing you bad luck for tomorrow, mate. In the
same with
way.
you. Likewise.
Have a nice one, everyone.
Bye, everyone.